Okay, so first thing I'm going to do now is just to measure around the outside of your head, and that's going to help me decide what cap we're going to put on. And then the second thing, I'm going to measure from the front to the back, and that's going to give us the opportunity to make sure that the cap is in the right place. Okay, that's perfect now. Okay, so this is our EEG cap. Monitors your brain activity completely passively, the same way that a heart monitor would. And the first thing I'm going to do, if you just turn around and have a look at me, I'm going to put this across your chest like this, and that's just to keep the cap in place, okay?
Cool.
So if you pop your arms up over that for me, that's perfect. And you can pop your arms back down. Okay, so the cap goes on just like a swimming cap, so we're going to go from the front to the back.
In order for us to collect EEG data, you need to wear an EEG cap. Now, an EEG cap is a standard piece of equipment used in thousands of hospitals and clinics and research institutions all over the world. Measuring EEG is the same as measuring heart rate using a heart rate monitor. Essentially, there are electrodes which sit on your head and passively measure what your brain is doing. There's no impulse into your brain, all they do is sit and listen.
Perfect. And again on the other side. Yeah, that's lovely. Now I'm just going to attach the cap down onto the belt.
Do I look good?
You look fantastic. Thanks. And next thing, just going to make sure that the cap is in the right position. So using that measurement that we took, move the cap slightly. And then just to make sure it's centered as well. Yep, that's perfect. There.
In order for us to get a good signal, we need to help these electrodes to be able to measure what's happening in your brain by just popping in a little bit of EEG electrode gel, and that gel bridges the gap between your scalp and the little electrode, so that that electrical activation that's occurring in your brain can travel onto the electrode and be recorded easily. This is a standard practice. It's completely painless. All that will happen is the gel will be popped into each of those little electrodes and it feels a little bit cold. As we put electrode gel into each of the electrodes, you'll notice on the screen that the little graphic begins to change colour. Now, this graphic tells us the signal quality, or as it's called, impedance. So as part of getting the EEG signal right, we want to make sure that we get a good signal at each one of the electrodes. So you'll notice as we put in gel, the electrode colour on the screen begins to change, and our goal is to get those values as low as possible. Once we have those values nice and low and the cap is in the right place and you feel comfortable, then we're ready to begin to collect our baselines. A standard way of collecting the baselines then is to measure 5 minutes of data with your eyes closed, and then another 5 minutes of data with your eyes open. Now, of course, when your eyes are open you can blink as normal, but our job is to aim to get you as nice, still and relaxed as possible. And once we have our 10 minutes of data and you have completed the initial consultation interview, your initial consultation is over.